What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about some new makeup releases, and more specifically I want to focus on Jaclyn Hill's new highlighter collection because I have some thoughts. I want to share them with you guys, and I want to know your thoughts in the comments as well, and just some other releases from KKW Beauty and Kylie Cosmetics. So if you guys want to know my thoughts on some new makeup, then just keep on watching. Alright, so let's get started with Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. On November 26th, she's coming out with a whole new highlighter collection. She's releasing a bunch of products. She has 3 different formulas of different highlighters in a bunch of different shades. So the first one is a Mood Light Luminous Powder. It comes in 5 shades for $32. Next, she has 2 highlighter palettes that are 4-pan palettes, and they are $49. Then 5 shades of a Beaming Light Loose Highlighter for $24. And then she also has a bunch of brushes. The powder brush is $24, highlighter brush is $20, and then a different highlighter brush for $20, and then a trio of the brushes for $54. Okay, so that is everything she's coming out with. It's a ton of products, and they're also going to be limited edition. So let's talk about that in a little bit. Backtrack at Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. I think it was around June or July is when she launched her brand, launched all the lipsticks. We know all that drama. I bought the lipsticks. I loved them until I realized they were bad. I actually didn't have a negative experience with mine because once all the information came out about that there was like metal in them or they were moldy potentially and this and this and that, I just stopped using them completely. I'm sure a lot of people did as well. I'm like, I'm not gonna get to the point where there's metal in my lipsticks. So after a few days, I just stopped using them. But obviously a ton of people had very, very negative experiences with the lipsticks. She did, after a while, issue refunds. I did receive a refund after a couple days of her announcing, like on YouTube or Instagram stories or something, that they were going to do refunds. I got my refund without an issue. There are still people, I believe, I haven't actually seen this, but I've seen people say on Twitter that like some people still haven't gotten their refund. So I don't know that for a fact, but if people are saying they haven't gotten their refund, I'm assuming that maybe that's accurate. And there's still a lot of like missing puzzle pieces when it comes to the whole lipstick situation from this summer. I think those are just some things that we will just never know, unfortunately, which is very annoying and frustrating. And there was obviously like a lot of information being thrown out there by Jaclyn, and then kind of like backpedaling and new information, or a little more just like very vague information out there when it came to the whole lipstick situation. And then Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics just kind of went quiet for a very long time. I didn't expect them to like release something else this soon, since she said she was like switching her live and this and this and that. I feel like, I don't know when would have been the great time to like release her next launch. Something I really did not like with the whole lipstick situation was that a lot of the information was coming out about the lipsticks being bad in some way or another, whether there was hair, metal, just objects that shouldn't be in lipsticks were found in her lipsticks. And while this information was coming out, Jaclyn went quiet for a few days. Jaclyn Cosmetics was not posting on their Instagram. However, they were reposting positive reviews on their Insta stories. And I'm like, it's one thing to be silent, and there's another thing to know people are saying negative things. That's where you should be focusing your time and not reposting people being like, oh my God, I love my lipsticks. So that like was like the last straw for me with the whole lipstick situation, because I was expecting the situation to be handled better. All right, so long story short, I was mad. A lot of people were upset as well, and we were all correct and why we were upset, right? And so when I saw that Jaclyn posted about like a week or 2 ago that she was coming out with her highlighter collection, or just a teaser of something coming soon, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. And the whole reason that I even bought the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks was because I'm like, I love Jaclyn Hill so much. I'm like one of those people that are just like, Jaclyn Hill does something and I go buy it. Honestly, there was this one time she posted on her Snapchat that she was making nachos with these like $9 organic tortilla chips. I went to the store that day. I bought those $9 chips. They were the worst chips I've ever eaten in my life. They were so bland and overpriced. I'm sticking with Tostitos from now on. But that is just how much effect Jaclyn Hill has on my money. But honestly, there were so many situations with different Jaclyn Hill launches that ended up going poorly, that even when she released her lipsticks, it's like, okay, well, maybe this will be the good one, because last time she blamed Becca for those eyeshadow palettes she didn't know was gonna be bad, and this was supposed to be bad. I actually got a good one of this Morphe, the 4 palettes that she came out with. Mine is totally fine, but a lot of people had a really bad formula. So it's like that, and then lipsticks. So that was like 3 just situations that ended up being bad products. All kind of in the same realm, like the quality of the products were bad. So at this point, the next launch is obviously not something that I want to purchase. All right, so let's finally get back on track to the highlighters. I feel like I just had some feelings that I needed to let out that were just like on my mind for like the last 4 months. But let's finally get back to the highlighters. So I saw that she teased these highlighters, or that she was coming out with something new, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this, because I want her brand to succeed. Like, I don't want her to just like give up on her brand or anything like that. But I just feel like there was something that needed to be done in between. I don't know, like some more information coming from the brand instead of lipsticks, oh no, we messed up, go into hiding for several months and just come back like nothing ever happened. But I don't think I have the answer to like what I wish they had done instead. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Like I said, if the lipstick situation went perfectly fine, I would be all over these highlighter palettes. They actually look really great. But yeah, there's no reason to get these, in my opinion, when there's so many other products out there and there hasn't been any success in this brand so far. And then another situation that makes me feel like if something goes poorly with these highlighters, even if it's something very small, like say people get broken palettes or something like that. Just recently for Halloween, Jaclyn Hill dressed up as herself but canceled, which was kind of like almost like making fun of her subscribers or people who, I feel like a lot of the negativity she's gotten recently has been because of the lipsticks. I know she's gotten a lot of negativity like in her personal life that's been like completely undeserved, but when it comes to just criticism about the lipsticks or like I want my money back, and then you show up with like a Jaclyn is canceled Halloween costume and it kind of like making fun of the people who are just trying to hold you accountable for a mistake in your business, and then 2 weeks later you try to sell those same people $50 highlighters. I don't like that. But I want her to like do better. I want her brand to succeed. I still do want it to succeed, but it's not going to succeed on my money right now at this time. Maybe in a year from now I'll buy something else from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. But I need to see like lots of success happen for that to happen. And then also, to me, it's so weird that this is gonna be a limited edition collection. I wonder what's the logic behind that. Like, do they only want to buy so much because they don't think they're gonna sell everything? And if it is limited edition, is it real limited edition, or is it champagne pop limited edition that's still in Sephora 6 years later? So we will see about that one, because if it really is limited edition, once those products sell out, then you're left with nothing. Like, your brand still has no permanent product. So if you want to launch a brand, why? So many things make no sense to me. But a lot of the highlighter palettes or the products in there, they kind of remind me of like the Jaclyn Hill packaging. This that I wore to my wedding that I bought 4 years ago and loved so dearly for so long. And I still keep, because this is like so sentimental to me. This was like, when she released this was like so exciting to me. Really loved this. And I feel like sometimes it's hard when YouTubers come out with makeup they collabed with. Like, she had that Morphe brush collab just a year ago, and now she's releasing her own brushes. The other thing that a lot of people are saying or comparing her new palette to are the Hourglass palettes, but the ones that look like this. I don't have another one because these are expensive. But there are like reminiscent of Hourglass and her Becca collab as well. That's basically all of my thoughts on the collection. I would love to know what you guys think about this collection, how you feel about the Jaclyn Cosmetics brand at this point. Yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know if any of you guys kind of feel like I do, where you're like, I want you to do so well, please, but also I really want you to be accountable. If you guys do purchase it, I really want to know from you how you feel about the collection. I just watched Raw Beauty Chrissy's video on it. I think that was a really good video. She went into like all of the drama detail and then into all of the collection as well. But Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you plan on purchasing from Jaclyn Cosmetics now or ever again, or yeah, just let me know your thoughts. I'm really curious about it. All right, so next up, let's talk about Kylie Cosmetics. So she just released a whole new holiday collection. Her holiday palette, I feel like this is the same holiday palette she's come out with for like 3 years. It's actually really pretty, but I feel like the Kylie Cosmetics makeup line, it just looks almost like the same thing every time. It just in different packaging, or just like you switch around like 1 or 2 shades. And sometimes like it actually looks really pretty, but I just feel like it's almost kind of like ColourPop, where they release like 17 different neutral palettes and there's only like 1 or 2 tweaks within them, but I still love them because they're super affordable, and this one is obviously a lot more expensive. And the real thing I really wanted to focus on with talking about Kylie Cosmetics is that this week they announced that Kylie Cosmetics is selling 51% to Coty Inc. Coty Inc. is a brand or a company. They own CoverGirl, they own Rimmel, Sally Hansen, so a lot of drugstore brands, but then also some other high-end brands like Gucci perfume, I think Alexander McQueen. So the other high-end brands as well. So I think that's really interesting. She sold 51%, so she's no longer the main owner of Kylie Cosmetics. She sold it for 600,000 million. I don't even know how to say that number because I've never seen it in my life. $600 million. That means her company is worth what, like $1.1 billion. Freaking insane. Like, that is so amazing. And I believe I saw that Kylie Cosmetics had $171 million in sales last year, which is very easy to believe why somebody would want to buy into that. And when I first saw this news and I was seeing some comments about it, a lot of people were assuming that her company wasn't doing as well. And I can kind of believe that because I feel like there's not a lot of excitement in Kylie Cosmetics as there once was. Like, obviously, when she came out with the lipsticks, it was like so new and exciting and everybody wanted it in like 2 seconds. For the first couple launches, I feel like everything was selling out instantly, and I don't know if that's really the case anymore with Kylie Cosmetics. I don't know if it's because she comes out with so much makeup or so many collections that are very similar to each other. So I feel like the brand is kind of slowing down, in my opinion, a little bit in terms of like what they're releasing. But just watching some more news about her selling the company and a lot of like different positive spins on it, it might actually be good for the brand. We might actually see some new like innovation from the brand and also expansion. I think that's like mostly the point, is just making the brand more global. And I was just trying to think like, okay, how is Kylie Cosmetics still going to be just as relevant, or like basically like Estee Lauder in 20, 30 years from now? And I think that's kind of like where this sale is going, and not making it just like this Instagram hyped up pop culture moment brand from like somebody who's super famous now, and taking that and making it into something that can be sustainable, kind of like Maybelline. Like, it's been around for like 100 years and it's still going strong. And then I think this is also showing that not every brand is invincible, which is kind of refreshing a little bit. I mean, I know she just made a ton of money, but it also shows that she took this and is trying to make her brand more sustainable, long-term, more global, and not just like the hot brand at the moment. So I'm excited to see what happens with Kylie Cosmetics moving forward. I feel like this year, every Kylie release just looked exactly the same to me. I think the last thing that I was really excited for were the concealers last year, about this time last year, and everything else has just been very similar. So I'm excited to see where it goes moving forward. And then the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the new KKW and Mario collab. And let me pull up some info on that. So it's a whole collection of products, some lipsticks for $18, lip liners for $12, a gloss for $18, and a blush for $18. The one thing I want to focus on for this video is the eyeshadow palette for $45. So I believe it was about maybe 2 years ago when their last collab came out, and here it is. Honestly, I went through my eyeshadow drawer and I didn't know if I still owned this palette because I wasn't sure if I had decluttered it, because I don't use it anymore. And the reason I don't use it anymore is just, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like a very simple palette. However, I do want to purchase her next eyeshadow palette, the palette coming out. I believe it's gonna be already out by the time this video goes up, but for me, it's gonna come out in a day from now, and I do want to get this. I think I would wear this a bit more than, well, obviously I don't even wear this one. I haven't touched it in a really long time, but the palette from round 2 is more neutral, more simple, but that's totally like up my alley. Like, I don't reach for this palette just for like the blue or the purple or anything. So I do want to get it just because I haven't purchased anything from KKW Beauty in a really long time. I really like Kim Kardashian. I don't even follow like any of the Kardashians. I've never seen like the show or anything. I just see their interviews sometimes, and like I really don't know too much about them. But I just see her interviews and she seems very nice. So I'm gonna get the palette. I really like Mario as well, so I'm excited to get it. To me, it's kind of like a collector's thing, even though I wasn't sure if I still own this. I'm happy that I still own this because now I can do a comparison video of this palette and the second palette. Hopefully I get more use out of the second palette. Hopefully it inspires me to actually wear this palette. I actually did get a lot of use out of it when it first came out, but that was like 2 years ago. It's been on the back burner for a long time. I'm excited to start using it again, compare it to the other one, compare the formulas, compare the shades and everything. Let you guys know all about that. So I'm excited for that one. It is kind of like a simple palette, but I think it's definitely something like I'm honestly going to use all the time. Shades I'm going to use all the time. And I know that the quality of this palette is good. I just don't reach for it just because it's older. I have other favorites currently in my collection. All right, guys, but that is everything that I wanted to talk about for today's video. I know I went like real in with Jaclyn Cosmetics, but I feel like there's just like a lot to unpack there, a lot to talk about, and nobody in my real life wants to talk about it. So I want to share my feelings with you guys. Please let me know your feelings on everything that I mentioned today in the comments below. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.